How do I know what I'm doing is safe? How do we know anything that we are doing is safe? Ask that question instead. How do we know that what we're being told is safe? How do we know whether plant-based, keto, carnivore, this, that, something or other, breatharian diet is any good, any safer than anything else? Well, we don't, apart from one person started it, one person did it, and then another person did it, and another person did it, and another person did it, and another person did it, until they did it. Well, I'm a qualified dietitian and nutritionist. Have been for over 20 years. Haven't always used it. Never used it as in seeing clients, except for friends, family, the occasional person that's asked for my help. I did it because I was a chef for 26 years. And where I had my bistro was across the road from the local allergy centre, which I started producing allergy friendly food before it was popular. I was one of the very first chefs to ever do it. Certainly the only establishment that was doing it where I lived at the time. So I know what I'm doing. I know what my body is capable of, and I know what tests I have to do and what stats I have to keep an eye on and all of the things. Yeah. What I am doing is extreme. I know that. I'm not an idiot. What I will say is this, that I will be keeping very close eye on myself, because I know my partner will be keeping very close eye on me too. And these things have to be in alignment with each other. And if any way, shape or form this shows that I am getting sicker, or I have an major issue with my health, then it will be knocked on the head. But I would rather not. And there's a couple of reasons for that. I'm going to be working on a couple of quite serious addictions while I'm doing this. One of them being sugar, the other being caffeine, the other being food. Now, food is really difficult when it's become an addiction, because unlike recreational input, chemical input and alcohol, we need food to live. We don't need a lot of it. We certainly don't need as much as they say we do, and we certainly don't need half of the stuff, well, probably 80% of the stuff that are in the shops. We don't need it. We need food to live. We need not to live for food. My problems began when I didn't have anyone to cook for. And we'll get into that another time. But I have to get my relationship back right with food. I have to get rid of the sugar addiction, because for the last couple of years, unbeknownst to anybody else except for me, I've been showing quite serious signs of insulin resistance, which is not great. And if I go a day without sugar, oh boy, the headache. Can I tell you, the headache? But we'll go through that, because this first 40 days, that's withdrawal. That will be withdrawal. That's like going cold turkey with smoking, alcohol, recreational chemicals, or herbage, whatever. It's the same thing, you know. It is the same thing. You have to go through withdrawal, and your body hates you for it. Your brain hates you even more for it, but you got to get through it. And then you got to figure out, well, what's appropriate and what's not. So, is what I'm doing extreme? Yeah, it is. Would I suggest it to anyone else? Only if I knew that person incredibly well. Are my family worried? Yeah. Yeah, they're worried. But they also know I know what I'm doing. They also know that I've got rules for myself. They know what those rules are. And they know what to do in the likelihood, in the whatever, that something happens to me. Unlikelihood. I didn't mean likelihood. In the unlikely situation that something would happen to me. They know what to do. They have their instructions. You know? But this for me is a last resort. You don't do something like this unless it's a last resort. Of course, I could have surgery, change my plumbing, but I already did that when my second son was 10 weeks old and had my gallbladder removed because I'd been having such severe issues with gallstones that I thought that me and the hospital thought that I was going bonkers because I was having such awful chest pains that I thought that I was going into labor for about 3 months before he was born. And then when I collapsed in the doctor's office, they took it serious. And I had my gallbladder taken out. So I have that to fight as well, because that has intrinsically changed my biology. So that needs to be taken into account with anything I do. I also know that I've been showing signs of fatty liver disease because I'm getting little bits of psoriasis on my elbows. A few other bits and pieces. So we have to do what we got to do. So extreme? Yes. Scared? Yes. Things in place? Yes. Know what I'm doing? Yeah. Trained for this, got pieces of paper for this. And we'll get there. We'll get there. Alright, I'm done for today. I got all this set up. I did the who, why, what, where, how. I think one's a short, can't remember. But they're all up. Once this is up, they'll all be up. And then I might pop in tomorrow and we might do a starter video, hey? This is what it looks like at the start. Oh God. And then I could introduce you to Fred. Yeah, my hernia's got a name. His name's Fred. Because he's a big fat lump that keeps poking its nose in where it's not wanted and making life awkward. Yeah. Alright, I'm out. Bye.